It's a big 98 not out welcome, and we're very thrilled to have got the company today of Pakistan superstar, and I don't think that's too big a word for him. Welcome along, Mr. Azhar Ali, all the way from Lahore.
Thank you. Pleasure. Um, Thanks for inviting me on this wonderful show.
How is now Pakistan, obviously, like the rest of us, is in suffering from coronavirus restrictions. How is it affecting daily life in Pakistan at the moment?
Yeah, at the moment, we have we're probably almost back to normal, but the cases has started to um, go up again, which is for last two months it was the cases were coming, the numbers were very low, the deaths were very low, so that's why people were really coming back to normal. And there was not much you could see that couple of months back, couple of weeks back actually. There was not much worry. I mean, no one was worried about it, but now again in last 4 or 5 days it has increased massively because the weather is changing also. I don't know what everyone is learning about this virus, so maybe the heat or whatever. In July, August, after that it just dipped down. Everything was looked like it's going away, but suddenly when the winter is starting to come back, it's it's starting to come back again. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't go back to the way it was in June or July, where it was more almost 100,000 cases a day. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't go back to that.
Lahore's a bit further inland, isn't it? You've got Karachi's on the coast. Lahore's further
Yes.
inland, but you're not quite in the mountains there, though, are you? But it is different to Karachi.
Yeah, it is different, but the mountains will be further north towards Islamabad, and after that, it just all hilly areas like Abbottabad, Peshawar. After Peshawar, it's just northern areas where almost everywhere the hills are there. So, a wonderful place there.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the PSL has just finished. Eventually, after the longest tournament ever because of the enforced break for coronavirus. You
Yeah.
must have been thrilled to see Lahore Qalandars reach the final.
Yeah, finally, it's been this is the fifth year, and every time they came at the bottom, and no one was expecting this performance from them because they have started badly in this year's PSL as well. But they eventually found a rhythm, found a balance of the side, which was happy. We were all happy to see that because we don't want a 5 or 4 team tournament. We want everyone wants, and especially as a Lahori, I want Lahore to do well. Unfortunately, they haven't done well in the past 4 years, but now they know how to win games. Before that, I thought personally they have forgot to how to win it. They even like they didn't never learn to win. So now and they got a taste of it, and I hope they can continue that in the coming seasons.
It's just a shame that the fans weren't allowed to share the success in the stadium. It's the same everywhere, every sports, even over here. We're in the middle of the football season, and it's still very strange to see big sporting events. Yesterday in the rugby, we had England versus Ireland. Football, there was big matches last night, Spurs against Manchester
Mm.
City. And it's very strange to see these big events, and the cricket too, with no fans there. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a great shame, but obviously it's you know it, in these testing times, we should be happy enough that at least some sport is going on. When we play test matches in England also, we always get support in England. Pakistani fans always come and support us. We miss that, but especially in T20, some of the games like Lahore versus Karachi final, it can't get bigger than that in PSL, and probably in domestic cricket. There's always derbies like in England. in Premier League. You'll have London Derby, you'll have Manchester Derby, and you'll find the crowd coming in. But it would have been a massive final in terms of crowd. It would have been great atmosphere with the crowd. Yeah, we missed that, but hopefully, coming times soon we can have a crowd back into the grounds.
You mentioned there about the series that Pakistan did when they visited England this last summer. An amazing effort to come over, and by yourselves and West Indies as well. That must have felt pretty strange, this whole being in a bubble and playing in a closed environment. Did it have any effect on any of the players, or did everyone just happy enough to get on and adapt?
It was tough, but I felt sorry for the guys who were playing just T20 matches, who stayed out there for almost 2 months and just played 3 games, and one was rained off as well. So I felt sorry for them, because the test guys who were involved in the test matches, they were just first month we were preparing for the test series, and then the test matches started. So we were all playing and we were involved in the game. But I had 1 week off when we have to watch T20s, and it was hard. Because you don't have to do much, you just have to watch and wait the time to finish, and then you have to go home. But I think for the guys who were involved in the test matches, that was not too bad, because it was first series after a long time, and everyone was hungry to play. And I think the whatever arrangements been done, either it was because of COVID, and also the whatever entertainment the ECB tried to provide us there, I think it was exceptional, and they were very flexible in so many things to make us feel comfortable as much as they can. And I think they couldn't have been done much more for us there. So I think I will just conclude with it was a wonderful series. We enjoyed every bit of it. Yes, for the guys who were not involved for a long period of time, it must have been very hard for them.
I heard some of them got very good at table tennis.
Yeah, they started off with they had no idea, but they obviously were there all day almost, so they got better and better. And then we asked for badminton in a couple of places where it was possible, and that was fantastic as well. It was good exercise, and also some enjoyment as well.
Debbie, you've got some questions for Azhar?
I've got loads of questions, actually. And I'll start with, because I have a page where I've got 70,000 Pakistan fans.
Very nice.
Yeah. Well, we know how passionate you are about your cricket. And actually, one of the really nice ones was, how are you such a cool and nice person? Which I thought was quite funny, but shows how the regard that they hold you in. One on the tests, actually, that was intriguing us. What was Yunus writing in his book during those test matches? Do you know?
Well, I don't really know it, but whenever he spoke, and he said he writes about everyone, and he said it's just for himself, and if anyone needs to know, he can tell him what he was writing about him. So he was writing all the notes, whatever he thought about the process of an individual, as a team, whatever. So he kept writing notes, and he said, it's just for myself. And if someone needs to know, he can come to me and I'll tell him. Okay. I mean, like, as if I need to know about myself, what you have observed and what you want to, do you want to tell me anything about it? So he said, definitely. Then he could say, he said, it's just for myself, but I can share it if you want it.
He didn't stop, did he? And actually, so these are, so my friends are in the Stanley Army, actually. So this is from them. And you mentioned the crowd in England. So he said many of the players have said it's like a home away from home because of the passionate support you get here. Are you aware of the Stanley Army as a group? Is that something that you as players know about?
No, not yet. I just heard it from you. But one thing I can tell, that the only place apart from Pakistan, I feel that we feel that it's just like playing home is England, because it's normally when we play, especially one day match or a T20 match, we almost outnumber
Yeah.
English fans. So it is always, pleasure to play in England because it's, the condition and everywhere we enjoy playing in England. And also the flags, we don't see many flags of Pakistan anywhere else than Pakistan. Um, it's England. So I remember a one day match in Cardiff in 2016. We lost four ODIs, first four ODIs, and then the fifth one, and the crowd there was full and full of Pakistanis. So it 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 shows that they will support us no matter what. So that's amazing to see. Always amazing to see when we come to England. We always get support. Doesn't matter, we win or lose. They always come and support us.
When you played India in England last year, that was one of the most memorable games I've ever seen. The atmosphere from the crowd was absolutely incredible. It was almost like being at Karachi or maybe Eden Gardens or something. And I think the players seem to pick up on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. I was involved in Champions Trophy as well, with two games I played against India. One in Edgbaston, one in the one which was at the final at the Oval. Amazing. You can't replicate that in any other game. Which is like it puts some pressure as well. But once you start enjoying it, it becomes it actually motivates you to do even more. And I was like, I got pumped up like in the final with the noise of the crowd. It's amazing. It's good for the game when these kind of games happen. Crowd comes and support their teams. All in good spirits. I always feel that you have to support your country. Um, Either it's Indian fan, he should enjoy that game, and Pakistani fans also should enjoy the game. Win and lose is that comes with sports, but the most important thing to come and enjoy the game, enjoy the atmosphere. Support your team to the best, and just keep enjoying the game.
So with that in mind, obviously the fact that PSL 5 was completely in Pakistan, what does it mean to you all to actually be playing back in Pakistan again?
We were starved playing at home. We were like for 8-9 years we didn't have any cricket at home, and I played around 72, I think, test matches without playing at home, which was very unfortunate. But credit to PCB, credit to the security forces who had done so much before the cricket coming back home. They have done so much to make sure that people now start trusting and coming to Pakistan. And it certainly last year or so, everything is starting to come into place. Some of the PSL matches being played in Pakistan. World 11 came to Pakistan, and then gradually I think every team is now coming maybe for short tours, and then obviously it will come. The test matches also start being, Sri Lanka came for test matches, Bangladesh came for test matches. So it's great to be playing cricket back in Pakistan. And that's the gap we had where the youngsters, especially, who look up to their stars, they can't watch them, in the ground, in the stadiums. So now at least they can see Babar Azam, they can see Shaheen Shah Afridi, they can see the new stars, and they can, the young ones can actually look up to them, and they want to become Babar Azam, they want to become Shaheen Afridi, or whoever they want to be. So that was missing in last 10 years, and I think that is very important to encourage young generation to play the great game of sports. A great game of cricket, sorry.
You've had a fantastic career, and you've played all around the world, including at Somerset over here in England.
Yeah.
I always like to ask professional players when they come on the show. Two questions. Firstly, who has been the most impressive on your team to play alongside? And also, who, wherever, has been the toughest opponent, the one that you've really had some great tussles with? Can you answer those questions?
The guys at Somerset, they're wonderful players and wonderful human beings as well. So that's the best part of playing at Somerset, that I haven't found of one single person which I would say like I don't want to sit with him, or I don't want to share whatever. I mean, like, it's amazing. I would go with lunch or coffee with anyone, or I could sit with anyone for as long as I want. So they build a culture where they want good people in the dressing room. So I think they've been successful in that, and that's why their performance has been fantastic. I enjoyed playing with Tom Abel, because he's a great young player, captain, a great role model for anyone. Like, he's very young in terms of age and his career, but he's been amazing. And also Tom Banton. He's a young character, young player, played for England. With his freedom, the way he bats, I always enjoyed batting alongside him. There's a couple of guys, youngsters, but amazing. And always in terms of senior players, James Hildreth. I feel that he's been so unlucky not to play for England. He's performed so much, but sometimes destiny is different. But I felt that he was an amazing player, amazing person to bat with.
And who was the toughest opponent that you faced?
Toughest opponent, I always thought Kyle Abbott was tough to bat against. He gets so many wickets, so it was hard to bat against. He was, his line lengths are amazing.
And when you were growing up, who were your heroes in cricket?
My hero was, first up was Imran Khan, but I was very young. And then he retired. Then I always looked up to Imzamam al-Haq.
We had John T. Rhodes on the show last week, and he was very famous for running out Inzi at the 92 World Cup.
I think he ran him out in 99 as well.
Debs, have you got some more questions?
Yeah, I have. So bearing in mind you were at Somerset twice, are you planning to come back, or can we pull you to Essex? Do you not fancy being a little bit nearer London?
I don't know. I mean, I always, Somerset is could be. I could say that I know everyone there, and I loved every bit of the time spent there. Just playing, not only playing cricket, and obviously off the field as well. But yeah, whatever opportunity comes my way, I always want to explore. It doesn't matter where it comes from, but at the moment there is no plans, because this COVID issue is going on. I don't know, even the counties at the moment really don't know how they're going to approach next season. So let's see it when the time is right, and let's hope that some opportunity comes, and I would love to come in England and play more cricket.
You can come and spend time with my good friend Arfan Akram, who spent time with you this summer. I kept seeing.
Yeah, he's
the king of the selfie.
Yeah. He's a wonderful guy, wonderful.
Yeah, he does fantastic stuff. So, an interesting question actually here. Can you explain the difference as a player between a local and a foreign coach? Because obviously you've had both in the national team, and I wouldn't necessarily ask you which you prefer, but what's the difference between, say, a Mickey Arthur and the situation you have now?
Well, obviously everyone has its positives. They have not only national, Pakistani coach or foreign coach. Every coach has his own style. So I think there is always I always enjoyed playing in both environments. Mickey has been he was very emotional. He was very close to us. And he got obviously we have seen him getting angry on the screen as well. So he was always a very emotional coach. But I as personally, I don't mind any of them. Misbah is here right now. We're working with him and we enjoying every bit of that as well. So it depends on players sometimes if they want to prefer. But I think as a myself, I feel that every coach has a different style. As long as he's calm, as long as he steady with his decisions, he's consistent with his decision and um, his policy making, whatever style he's adopted, and he's consistent with that, and he trusts his players. I think that's fine. Whoever he is, whoever country he's belong.
And if you could have any one batsman from any era out in the middle with you, who would it be and why? Yeah. That's a hard one.
Tough one. I would go with Brian Lara.
Yeah.
So he can compensate me. I can be. We have to compensate each other. So
yeah.
I could take my time and he can take the game on.
Sounds good.
It will be nice to see. I loved his bat swing, the way he finishes his shots. So it will be amazing to see from the non-striking end.
Absolutely. So, and you mentioned a few of the younger players there. Have you which young players should we look out for that are coming through the team now?
There are plenty of young players coming up. In domestic level, we just got Abdullah Shafiq, who made his debut recently. I feel that he has potential, although it's very early. But I feel that he got a potential to become a very good international batsman. And also there are other guys that are coming up like Imran Butt and Azhar Ali in white ball cricket. He's one of those guys who can take the game on. So he's one of those to watch out as well.
Do you think that he can make the transition into Test cricket as well, Azhar Ali?
We can't. I'm not a big fan of stamping one player to one format because the players can work hard and work their way around other formats as well. So at the moment, I feel that he's purely white ball, but he had played first class cricket, scored some runs as well. But if I think he has the potential to learn quickly. So if he does that, then definitely he can come play red ball cricket as well.
Now, away from cricket, I know you're a big football fan. And you're a supporter of the mighty Eagles, Crystal Palace.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Palace all the way.
Yeah.
Well, I had a knee problem in 2017 after Champions Trophy. So I came to Dr. Zaf. Everyone knows he's a head of medical in Crystal Palace. So I came to him and he saw my knees, and fortunately I have been managed to train at Palace training ground.
Wow.
The gym there, I use the gym there, and they have treated me very nicely. And also when I was there, I went to see a couple of games, and then I became a fan of the way especially Zaha played. And I remember that game. There was the first game I watched was with my son. I think West Ham. We were at home against West Ham, and we were losing 2-0 at halftime. And I had a Palace jacket on. So my son was like, first time he was Manchester United fan, And he said, "Why you even be wearing this?" I said, "Like if you come to support one team, then you have to go all the way, even they lose." And then suddenly we got a penalty, and Milivojevic scored a goal, and then right at the last kick, I think Zaha, equalized the uh, equalized. So he was jumping around. I said, "Why are you jumping now?" So, it was an amazing game, and I said, like, I had to follow this team, and then I kept coming and watching games every year. So I become, we all watch, and now my son has also become a Palace fan because Manchester United has been not been doing it well in last couple of seasons. So he said, "No, I'm Palace fan. At least we don't have to expect too much."
Yeah, that's right.
So if we win, we can jump. If we lose, it's all right.
And the atmosphere at Selhurst Park is incredible. It's one of the best
Amazing,
places.
amazing. I think one of those grounds where one of those stadiums where there's the atmosphere is a proper one. I mean, I always enjoy. I've been to Wembley. I've maybe been to other places, but I think the atmosphere wise, because you're so close to the field,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's a bit like Essex on T20 night at Chelmsford.
Yeah, I haven't played a T20 match at Chelmsford, but I haven't experienced that. But it must be when you're close to the ground, the crowd enjoys the most, I think, and even in Taunton also, I
Yeah.
think you're so close. Um, and I think it was in the World Cup game, 9,000 was the capacity, and the atmosphere was fantastic because of it was so close together.
Yeah.
That was a great day, wasn't it? Against Australia, was that?
Yes.
That was, in spite of David Warner, that was still a great day, wasn't it? That one,
Yeah.
Very enjoyable.
Is the season finished in Pakistan, or are you still going?
No, it's still going.
And I suppose next up is a test. You're off to New Zealand before Christmas, is that right?
Yes, we are going to New Zealand tomorrow, actually.
Oh wow, okay. So more quarantine.
Yeah, of course.
But that would be a good series. That'd be very competitive. New Zealand, good side.
Yeah, it will be. I think New Zealand is one of the best sides at home, especially.
Okay, so New Zealand, it's a really packed. I think with COVID, obviously, and the fact that there's a lot of cricket still to be played. The calendar looks really packed now. Looking through, particularly on New Zealand, West Indies are there at the moment. You're going down there. Then Australia. There's a lot of international cricket going on in Australia. And then, of course, there's hopes for a World Cup or a T20 World Cup in 2021 and the build up to that. I think we have to be careful about players' workload, and particularly all of this quarantine, the mental effects on being locked up in hotels all the time. Do you think, is there anything that could be done or are there measures to make sure everyone's doing okay?
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of how long a player can endure that much of quarantine, because England was first one, and everyone was excited coming back playing cricket, and gradually I think New Zealand should be okay because after a couple of weeks they can go out. But staying away from families for so long could be a problem. But I think boards are already Pakistan Cricket Board already thinking about sending families to where it's possible, because they don't want us to be away from the families for so long. And yes, that will be a big problem where it's be too much quarantine, too much time spent outside home. Then it will be affecting players. So long, 6-7 months in, even 6-7 months in quarantine. It's too much. So hopefully things will get better. The vaccine comes out, hopefully, and life comes back to normal.
Yeah. Debs, have you got one last question for Azhar?
I actually won, yeah. So Imi from the Stanley Army, you started as a leg spinner, which I don't think I knew that. And he was saying that under 15, you played in a World Cup final against Darren's West Indies, and starting as a leggy and batting at 8. At what point did you transform into a batsman?
I played first 10 or 11 games as leg spinner, first class games as a leg spinner as well. So after that I started to play as a batting all-rounder first, and then purely as a batsman. And it was I think it was season 2005, I think, where I played the first game just purely as a batsman. And then after 4 years, 3 years, I was playing with Pakistan A as a purely batsman. So it was quick shift, but it took only 3.5 years for me to get recognized as just purely as a batsman.
So I guess that changes how you train, I guess, doesn't it? That
yes, of course, it shifts the priority. Obviously, once you bowl for 2 hours or 1.5 hours, instead of that, you bat for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and this bowl just a little bit. So yeah, I've changed. The practice routines changed massively, but I always enjoyed my batting. All leg spinners always love their batting.
So similar to Steve Smith, really.
Yeah, we made actually debut together. Myself and Smith and Tim Payne all were in the same game. We made a test debut at Lord's.
Fantastic. Oh yeah, 2010, wasn't it? When
yes,
that test. I was there for that. Yeah, that's right. I remember.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Still 10 years ago.
And all managed to lead their sides.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. As we're going to wrap it up there. We really appreciate you giving us the time to join us. Absolute honor and a pleasure to talk to you. And hopefully once the vaccine comes in and then we return to normal.
Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah, we can all go to Sellers Park and watch the mighty Eagles. Okay, many thanks and all the best for the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you.